There's the pee-pee.
Welcome to Bananas.
Hey, everybody! Hey, everybody! It's Benji here,
And Philip J. Fry.
and we are the
Two beans. I see two beans. Not me, and I only eat two beans at a time. Red roses too. Put it in my pocket. Every rose. Give them to you.
Has a thing.
two bones and a bean.
We're two bones over here.
What a wonderful bean! All right, yeah. So that was our intro.
Happy Halloween. That was
Happy
a couple days ago.
Halloweenies!
When
By
you
the time
watch
this comes
this.
out, it'll be a while.
It's going to be
It'll be
January
actually
2022.
happy Thanksgiving after this.
Yeah, whatever it is. Whatever you're celebrating, celebrate it with the ones you love.
We are doing a special episode today. We are going to do some reactions to
Pizza
and beer. No beans.
No bean. And no bean reactions today.
No.
But, someday.
Someday. Yeah.
The two beans react to their beans.
Have you ever watched Two Beans watching Two Beans? And then we just react to that video every time, and it just gets two beans and two beans and
Just
two
keep
beans.
watching the same episode.
Next thing you know, you're touching your dad.
We were so good. For so long.
We did so well, and then it was the dads have to come out.
That's definitely not the worst thing we've said.
Nope, I kept it PG.
Maybe PG-13.
They do.
That's
yeah.
good enough.
Yeah. I was gonna make it.
Still
then
acceptable.
I was gonna make an R-rated joke at that point. But yeah. That's
Save
probably not
that
good.
for after the shot.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, we got a shot of vodka, so I'm probably gonna die. I haven't done this since I was in middle school. We're
The
chasing.
two beans are back, baby.
Baby! Oh God.
Oh!
It burns.
Yeah.
Well, hey,
We did it.
we did it, and here we are. We're gonna react to that vodka. It's actually not the worst vodka.
No.
I was skeptical of the skeptic vodka, but it's not bad.
Yeah. Like I said, I thought
Smooth.
it said septic vodka, and I was like, that's funny. But
I'm
I was like, hey, it's on
skeptical.
sale. Let's be skeptical. And then I was like, oh, it's called Skeptic. And it's like curious and whatever. And I was like, there's
It's-
always more to explore. And I like the mystique of it. And
It's-
I was like, and
it's-
it's $17.
Yeah, it's actually like smooth. Doesn't taste good, but it's smooth. So
I will argue that no plain vodka, like unflavored vodka, is good by itself. If it's like a sweetened vodka, I like that,
yeah.
but
Even then, like,
yeah, it's not great. Vodka is definitely meant to be mixed into
well,
something.
let's talk about our chasers then.
Oh yes,
So we are reacting to beer, and we got a pack of 3 beers. I got another pack of beer here, and you got another beer.
Yeah.
So what we just did,
this is gonna be my main one, but
But
I'm starting with
what
this.
we're drinking with here, I have a Raspberry Pride, brewed for everyone, so that's a cool plus.
Inclusive.
And it's by Neff Brewing Company. It's got a space shuttle with a rainbow, and then a rainbow coming around the world. So yeah, it's
All
actually
around the world.
it is Raspberry
Drink your
Pride.
beer and drink it with
I got
pride.
the whole world in
My
hand.
beer.
It's like I'm drinking the weight of the world.
This is one that Benji brought. That,
Yes.
Let's see, who is this by? This is Prairie Artisan Ales. It is Rainbow Sherbet.
These are both in Oklahoma, by the way.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Shout out to our Oklahoma boys.
Boys
And gals.
Thank you for having more beer in our liquor
everyone.
store than Kansas brewing companies. Other than Boulevard.
Yeah.
We don't know.
It was just, and today, I wanted to try to find, like, it's hard to, like,
we have good brewing companies.
Yes, and you know
They
it's
just
been
don't
a
sell at
long
liquor
time
stores.
since I've like really just like actually enjoyed a beer. It
Yeah.
was just like anytime
Yeah.
I bought it, I was just like, whatever. I'm just drinking beer these
We
days.
just do shots and drink hot seltzers.
But there was one I was specifically looking for. I don't remember the name of it. It's from Central Standard, I think.
You got Wichita Brewing, you got Central
or
Standard.
Wichita
and then you
Brewing.
got, is it Mort's? Or there's another one.
Yeah.
Riverside. Yeah.
But the one I was wanting to try to find, it was like
Mart's is
it's
the
like either a quad Belgian
martini
or a
bar.
Belgian ale or
Yeah.
something like that.
Uh-huh.
But it's nice and solid, and it's always a good price. And
Yeah.
like, I think it's like a good like 8% or
Uh-huh.
something like
Well,
that.
like
So it's nothing crazy, but it's
Central-
like you get a little bang for your buck.
Central
there.
Standard too with those beers, like they don't sell them all the time. So once they make them,
Yeah.
you really can't get them, and they sell them. You can't get them again until they make it again.
Yeah.
And so, like my favorite beer of all time is a Berry Noir from Central Standard. Beautiful looking beer. It's like deep purple with like it's cloudy and it's cool looking, but it tastes so good. And yeah, they don't have it.
Yeah.
They don't sell it all the
Also,
time.
I don't even remember. It could have been Central Standard or it could have been Wichita Brewing Company.
Both of them are good.
Both of them are great. This is not a your beer's like so unmemorable that I can't remember. I'm just an idiot and I don't remember.
Usually when we
things.
drink beer, we usually go overboard too, to be fair.
Yeah.
So
I went through a phase there where I was really into beers and I was real specific.
Yeah.
And then like the last few years has just been like I just drink whatever. I just
really
drink
weird
beers.
in the fact that like I really got into like brewed beer, like like not your standard like Budweisers and stuff, because I love Budweisers and PBRs, but I've really gotten into these beers lately. But I'm also particular when I start, and then once I get like 2 or 3 beers in, I just kind of I just like start ordering what sounds good. Like, so I'll just start jumping between darks, ales.
Yeah.
and it gets real bad sometimes.
It's one of those things. It's like I used to have like a decent taste, so like I really had like a good palate for it.
Yeah.
But these days I'm just so open. It's like I'll drink whatever. I don't.
Yeah, I
don't
kind of like
care
that too.
anymore. But anyway, in lieu of the one that I was looking for, I was like, well, okay, Boulevard's good.
Boulevard's good. They had it
local.
in Savannah,
I know,
actually.
Sometimes like it's like everyone loves a Boulevard, but it's because they got a beer for everybody. Anyway, no, there's a Boulevard for everybody, and oh no, what I was going for was it's like it's a little cold out here, and it reminds me of like when we lived together. And,
Yeah.
we would just get like beers and stuff. But I remember how stoked I was when I found that keg of the Breckenridge Brewing Company with the Christmas ale, which they've had that the last couple of years. I might try to pick one up again.
Breckenridge actually makes one of my favorite beers, which is Avalanche.
Avalanche is good.
I went there when I was in Denver. It was really good. It's a really good place.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was kind of close enough. And it was funny, like, it's like I like beer and stuff, but I've never been like a huge snob into like knowing all the things and whatnot. I just I drink whatever.
I don't know all the things,
but like I was checking out, and it was either like a new kid or something like I had never seen before, and he was like, "Oh, do you like that? Is that good?" And I was like, it's been like 3 or 4 years since I've had it, so I don't remember what it tastes like. I just remember that it wasn't offensive.
Yeah,
and that's the extent of like what I know, because I didn't want to lie and be like, "Right, it's got like hazelnut notes and it's a little
you can
nutty."
taste the nutcracker.
Because then he might be like, "Oh, that sounds great. I'll try it." And he's like, "This is,"
and
like,
it turns
tastes like
out
almonds.
all it is actually a nutcracker that they stuff into a can. And when you pop the lid, nutcracker shoots out.
And you just get nut shrapnel in your
It just
eye.
actually cracks your nuts.
But sometimes you need that.
You sometimes need a good nut cracking.
Yeah.
So, and then now, on the terms of what we're eating, we got some pizza from some local pizza joints that we really liked. Ours are our favorites. You have... My pizza is Nola's. It's a New York style pepperoni. We went pepperoni. We normally don't necessarily. I mean, we eat pepperoni, but
Pepperoni's always my like favorite like go-to.
I think
like,
sausage is
I
mine. But I wanted to make sure we had the same pizza and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And pepperoni.
I was just like, when it comes down to it, like a good, well-made pepperoni or sometimes even cheese pizza is like just, I like other toppings and I've been expanding my palate more and more lately. But sometimes like I just crave like a good like pepperoni.
yeah.
So I went with AJ's. I don't know if it's like a chain or if it's just some place that's just open.
I wanted two restaurants.
Okay. But it's across the street from here at the bowling alley, and
Is that
bowling
both
alley
bowling
pizza is
alleys?
always really good. It's not my favorite pizza like ever. Still hands down favorite is Minsky's. There's just not one close by here, but I think the closest one is like Lawrence, but there's like one in Lawrence, some up in Kansas City and whatnot. And it's so good, so delectable. And AJ's is kind of like the closest. I feel like I found one that comes to that. Gambino's in El Dorado, and I think there's one in Wichita.
There's one in Derby.
And they're all good, and it's nice because like they're all a little bit different. Like it's like it's a small franchise, so each store is a little bit different. But I've never had a bad Gambino's pizza, but it's not quite the same. Whereas like you're always gonna get like exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Whereas like AJ's, I'm like, this is just
AJ's is about the same every single time.
Yeah.
Nola's I really like. Well, they do New York style. And they do about as well as anybody in town does. Their sauce is really good because I'm a big sauce guy. The cheese is good. Pepperonis are well cooked. Like I like when they get it to where it does. Like that's a good pepperoni.
Love those crispy.
Yeah, the crust though is really like it's crusty. It's good. Like it's a good quality pizza. Is it what you're gonna get from New York style? You're not gonna get that in Kansas, unfortunately. But it's good. Yeah, I like it. And they've grown, so now they are a small chain as well.
Yeah, I need to go back. Fun fact: Nola's was actually the place Jen and I had our first date.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You guys just got married.
Yeah,
this is our first podcast after you got married.
Post marriage, yeah.
Wow.
Shout out to my wife for being awesome and being my wife.
We've come full pizza.
Full pizza. And shout out to all of my friends and family that were at the wedding. It was such a beautiful day. I don't want to like take the whole podcast about the wedding and stuff like that, but just have to say like it was a wonderful day.
I just took the whole podcast of me chewing the crust into the mic. So
no, I'm just me slopping on this ranch. No, it was so nice, and it was just so wonderful seeing all of my family and friends just all getting along and everyone having a good time. And
it was just a good, wholesome wedding, I thought.
Yeah, it was just a really nice day. Like everything went like as good as it possibly could, and especially like since we more or less planned all this and did everything ourselves. Like, it was like a lot was like riding on our shoulders of like it going off well, and like it.
I mean, I don't think
it's good.
To be fair, the groomsmen just kind of got drunk.
I'm glad someone did.
Yeah, I was like every time I'd see him, like, hey, let's do a shot, but I'd be like, well, hold on, he's got to be like, this is the one moment where he can't actually be drunk.
Yeah, I really can't. I may have had the slightest of buzzes because I know I had a couple shots early on, but it's like through all the nervousness, I probably sweated all that out.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I'm really happy. I'm glad that I was a part of it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
It was fun to see everybody.
By the way, speaking of that, before we move on, I have something for you.
Oh, okay.
You may have actually seen it because I forgot and left it on the table.
Oh.
But I have this.
Thank you.
I was originally wanting to try to find really fun, quirky, unique gifts for all my groomsmen.
I love it.
But it was kind of one of those things that was like I kept finding really fun stuff for the same 2 or 3 people.
Yeah.
And just never found something that clicked for like a few others.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, I'll hold off on that so it's not like someone gets a whole bunch of stuff and the other person just gets, and I just kept it all equal. But I found that at Goodwill. as always.
Yeah.
But I was like, that's so fun because that's so much your energy. It's just a T-Rex, and like, I love
it.
the velvet painting.
Yeah, I love it so much. It's
just
really cool.
So wholesome.
What I've been putting up paintings in my apartment now. Like, not to be cool, I just like paintings. I don't like staring at them. I like though to look at them here and there and stuff.
The ones you've done?
Well, I've got the ones that I've done. That Robin's done one with me. It was actually kind of fun for anybody that's looking for a cool, fun date idea. Finding a like paint thing on YouTube, and then just trying to follow along, but not like stop. We stopped here and there, but like trying not to stop and just kind of like paint and follow them.
With the flow.
Yeah, we did that, and we actually have 2 really good paintings from that. That was a lot of fun. It's a great date idea.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then you guys, we hung them both up in the kitchen and stuff. But I've got the 2 others that I've done. I bought some renditions of The Scream.
Oh, nice.
And Starry Night, which are my 2 favorite. And then I have like a Houndoom and
I was thinking of Ghostface Scream.
But
painted in the actual Scream thing. I was like, you would get.
I imagine that Ghostface came from that because probably like the inspiration to Ghost.
Shape.
Yes, it's Scream. The painting's called Scream, and Ghostface has that. You know.
Damn, I never knew that.
Just connecting it right now in my head. Anyway,
that's another series I need to watch.
Scream
I know I've seen like bits and pieces of some of them with you, but I've never really like watched the whole movie.
I mean, legitimately, Scream is to me the most realistic horror film out of all the big slashers, right? Like, it's the one that, especially nowadays, it would be the most likely to come true.
Is it? Which spoiler alert, probably. And I don't care spoiling it for myself. Yeah. Is that the one where it's like one of the friends? Ends up being, like, the killer
it's her boyfriend and Matthew Lillard.
Okay.
Yeah. Who then becomes Shaggy and starts solving. So he really turned his life around after he had the entire TV dropped on him.
Yeah.
He
really pulled it together.
Yeah, he really got his shit together, and I think Scooby helps. You find Scooby, you're like, I gotta get my life together for this dog. So yeah, no, Scream, really just Scream 1 is, and the others, they're just fun. Mm-hmm. But Scream 1 is a classic. I would actually go to bat for Scream 1 as being one of the best slasher films of all time. Because of the realism, because at that point, like, I mean, Neve Campbell, Matthew Lillard, Drew Barrymore's at the beginning and stuff, and like they start off killing Drew Barrymore, and this wasn't like the height of her power, but she was, this was kind of
an up and comer. At that point.
Hey,
who's gonna get your pizza?
Hey, you can't have my pizza.
Samson here with the review of Nola's Pizza.
Is it good, buddy?
Well, you touched it. Now you have to eat it. I'm just going to let you do this.
There you go. He'll probably try to eat it and then just keep dropping it.
Yeah.
We dropped a piece of cheese the other night. He kept he'd pick it up and just drop it. He'd pick it up and he'd lick it. Just drop it. He tries so hard, but he just...
Oh, we got a new puppy. Mm-hmm. It's a border collie pointer.
Boiner.
Boiner. And I fed it I had a bratwurst, and I gave my dog, because she's the big dog, half of it, and then split the other half into three quarters of that half, gave that to the second biggest dog, and then just a piece that's like this big. And I was like, I should probably break this up because she's really small, but I didn't. I was like, she'll chew it. Nope. One bite, she swallowed that thing whole.
Oh, jeez.
And I was like, I think I just killed our dog. She's fine.
Spoiler alert, she's still alive.
But yeah, no, that was, I was like, oh. I kind of just stood there for a little bit like, oh, you just ate all that. He's still doing it.
You might have to break that up a little bit for him too. He's pretty dense.
Aren't we all? So yeah, pizza and beer. I'm about to try another pizza. Not another pizza, another beer.
We ordered 13 pizzas here.
This one's from my friend. This is the beer I'm most excited about because it's got the ugly Christmas sweater. It's a Seasick Crocodile. It has sour ale with cranberries, ginger, cinnamon, and nutmeg.
Oh, that sounds dope.
I love the
might have to try
can.
some
The
of
can's just kind of cheap, but anyway.
Even when
Ooh,
AJ's is cold.
smell it. I actually like cold pizza, to be honest with you.
That smells like a candle. That's so good. You should come smell this. This is delightful.
Oh yeah. Have you ever just wanted to drink a candle? You can really smell like the nutmeg.
Right?
Yeah. Jacob's liquor.
Jacoby Shaddix.
Shout out to Jacoby.
Isn't that the guy from Papa Roach?
I have no idea. I try not to think about Papa Roach.
I just remember
He cut my life into
what was the show?
pieces.
It was Scarred. He hosted kind of like a Rob Dyrdek style before Rob Dyrdek did it, which Rob Dyrdek, I think he ripped it off of someone else.
Ooh.
But it was just like skateboard fails or like,
Yeah,
athletic
yeah.
thing fails. But it's called Scarred
with
Jacoby Shaddix from Papa Roach was the host of the show. And that's one of those things that like is etched far away in my brain that I'm like, oh yeah. I watched that hard.
I love the fact that they are so insignificant that they had to get somebody from Papa Roach. Not even Papa Roach himself.
Well, I think he's the singer.
Oh, that's his actual name? I thought.
Yeah, his name's Jacoby Shaddix.
Oh.
And
Yep. No, that's actually the guy to get. you're gonna get somebody
he had the dyed black hair and the eyeliner and the lip piercings. It was so 2005.
Yeah, I mean, like,
the only thing more 2005 was Viva La Bam.
That's true. Yeah, and we have all seen him now.
Poor guy. I feel so bad for him.
I know. I see his rants on Instagram all the time, and I have no idea what's happening. I feel bad.
Yeah.
Because it looks like he gets his life together, and then all of a sudden it just falls apart.
That's the sad thing, is it's like he's had several times where you think, like, okay, he might turn it around, but like when you get that deep into the addiction and stuff like that, it's like really the only way is like full on commitment in rehab. Like when you're that far down, it's like there's no like I can still swing it here and there.
Yeah, well,
and it's not like you can never like drink again, which I'm definitely not an expert on all of this, but it's like you have to look at someone. I mean, like Steve-O. Like Steve-O had like similar tendencies. He was just a little more upfront with how off the wall he was. And I mean, he's done so good. Like, God, I can't remember. He's what, like 13 or 14 years just getting those crumbs.
There's an onion.
Yeah, but he's doing so good, and it's I hope Bam gets to a point where he can turn it around, and it's
we need
I imagine
him
it's hard to
pranking his family again.
He just needs to go live with April and Phil and just
we just need that again.
Yeah. Because it's like I'm excited to see Jackass 4. Like I think it's gonna be really fun.
But I saw the whole fallout from Bam on that.
Yeah, and it's like it's gonna be really bittersweet because I was really hoping to have Bam in it, even if he wasn't at his best. It would have been cool to see him.
Yeah.
In the loving embrace of his friends, but I think it's just so far off the train that it's.
Yeah. Oh, and then I don't think
he needs real help.
He really went after him. And I don't think they ever really responded, and which is probably best because they're probably like, "No, we're not gonna
Yeah, and especially when everyone's in the public spotlight like that, I'm sure it just adds like so many more layers of like things you have to think about
Yeah.
in situations like that.
Oh yeah. I mean,
You know,
shit.
I couldn't imagine
A couple of days
that
ago.
many people knowing who you are, knowing everything you do.
So I'm gonna timestamp this episode a little bit on when we're actually recording it. But just a couple of days ago, there was a NFL player who was drinking while driving, and he was going 156 miles per hour. Rammed so hard into the back of a lady's Toyota RAV4 that it like caught on fire and killed her and her dog.
God.
And it's, you know, like the NFL team that he played for, I think it was the Raiders, they have services. I mean, and this guy makes millions of dollars. Like, you can Uber, you can Lyft.
Yeah.
You don't have to make these decisions anymore. Like, you don't have to be like, you know.
Yeah.
Once you're above 21, and you really, you know, honestly, like, I mean, we drank under 21. We drank from, like, I mean.
We've both done a lot of things.
We've done some, you know, we're not the model citizens that we make ourselves out to be.
And these real proper citizens.
Yeah, so.
Yes, I have a desk
So, like,
and a writing utensil.
Mm-hmm. But I get it, but I don't, like, no. Like,
Yeah.
as somebody who's been in that situation, I would have never have done any of that still.
Yeah.
I may have drove, which is bad, right? Like, that's real fucking bad. And I have to live with that,
Yeah.
making that decision. And, you know, and every day I'm like, I'm counting my blessings and all that I'm, you know,
for sure.
nobody else got
We've
hurt.
all done those things that could have.
But I still would have never
dangerous.
gone 160 miles per hour in a main traffic thoroughway.
There's definitely different levels, and it's all gray area and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
As alcohol blood content was like twice the legal limit.
yeah, and sometimes people like that, I mean, they just get more wealth and more power than they're prepared to deal with.
Yeah.
And you get access to living this excessive life.
NFL,
And if you haven't, like, I don't know, in a way, like, kind of gone through it and learned how to kind of, like, you know, figure out your way in life, and then you just get all this money dumped on you, then you really have that sense of, like, well, I can kind of do whatever. Like, I have money, because, like, you know, people say, like, money doesn't buy happiness, but money buys you a lot of freedom to do whatever you want, you know? And that, when it's unchecked.
Yeah,
you know?
and being an NFL player, you have to be confident in yourself. You have, and that's so he's probably got an ego through the roof already. You're adding money to that, and I'm not trying to judge him. He's just a kid. He's 22, 23. I mean, when I was 22, 23, I was also
if someone would have given me millions of dollars when I was 22, like,
I thought I had everything already figured out then. And if you would have thrown money on top of that, like...
Yeah. Like, if you gave me $22 million when I was, you know, in my early 20s, I would, at the very least, be $23 million in debt. Because I would have been like, oh, I got $22 million? I'll start living like a 22 millionaire and then a little bit of extra. And, like, I have $23 million worth of credit card debt.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's just how I'd be. But, like, that's, like, the best it probably could have been, you know, like that. Who knows? When you're that young, you're just flying by the seat of your pants.
I know.
You know?
And I mean, like, there's just not a whole lot you can do, because a lot of times, like, I had a teacher who told my parents, and my parents ended up telling me like 4 or 5 years down the road, because I mean, like, I didn't do much during high school, right? Like, I didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even really care during college, but. You know, I got my life turned around 22, 23, because I was like, I know everything. No, you don't. You're working you're working at Village Inn. You're cooking food. No knock on those guys, but like, if you want to turn your life around, you gotta, you know, you gotta figure it out. I went and got a scholarship, went to tech school, and now I'm doing pretty good.
You did the work.
Yep, I did the work. That doesn't mean that everybody can. I got lucky. I have a good support system and all that. So if you have a good support system,
yeah, I mean, that's
really
the thing. Is
it.
It's like when it all comes down to it, it's really a lot of it is dependent on, like, just the circumstances you're born into and the people you have around. You know, like, things can change in an instant, or you could be, you know, born into a family who's had nothing but just the worst luck, or you know, at the bottom of the totem pole in any category you can think of. And it's like it gets increasingly harder and harder the farther down.
Yeah,
you
and it's
are.
hard to
Like,
pull
it's-
yourself out of that lifestyle too.
Yeah.
So I think
Because especially it's like, I'm very fortunate in just the circumstances that I've had in my life. But even then, it's like trying to pull myself out of just either continuing down like the same level or like just going further down either into debt or, just not sustaining, that kind of stuff. It's like, it's really hard. Like it's like a full commitment change, like where you have to like really like tap into like the I don't know, not the extra mile, but like the little
the
bit of
8
extra,
mile with Eminem.
Yeah, you gotta tap into that
You gotta
Eminem
tap
spirit,
Eminem.
And it's like the less advantages you have in life at your disposal, the harder it is, because it's like these days with the way everything's been ordered and systemed, like the further down you are, you could make the same strides and sacrifices and do all the work as someone who's up here, but you'll never get even a fraction of just because of the way things are, it's extraordinary.
Well, look at this pizza and beer
turning into a socioeconomic thing. But that's how we roll.
Sometimes I literally roll.
How long are we into this? We're like 30 minutes.
Yeah, so we can probably wrap it up here. You need to try this beer because you were smelling it.
Yeah. I would love that.
It's spicy. Like you have a little bit of ginger and nutmeg. So there's like, it's not very sour, but there's a little bit of a spice there.
Man, that's really pleasant.
It is.
Normally, like super Christmassy beers.
No,
like
that's
that lay in thick to the like,
Christmas, the like allspice and nutmeg and stuff. Yeah, no.
Especially it's like, or even like the pumpkin beers that try to get that kind of spice down. It just comes off tasting like a fake pumpkin and really sugary.
No, this tastes
nice.
like a cranberry turnover.
Yeah, because you get that sourness from the cranberry at the end that really like you know you're still drinking a beer.
Yeah, you get the beer and the cranberry, but then you get this like in the middle of it, you get ginger, and then there's like a cinnamon layer. You taste and then the nutmeg. It's good. It's good. This is also really good. Raspberry Pride. I gotta give kudos to all the beers I haven't had. The
shout out to all the beers I haven't had. Someday.
Let me taste the Vape Tricks real quick.
Vape Tricks.
I guess you tried the rainbow shirt.
Woo! Yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was it had a very kind of like herbal hibiscus thing to it.
So this is
so it's like you get the fruitiness of the sherbet. I could have used maybe just a little bit more of like a smooth or creaminess.
You mind
to
if I
it.
try it?
There's not much left in there, but you can try it. Yeah, you'll get the idea.
That just reminds me of like a pop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
that,
that,
there's not. I mean, there's a little bit of beer in there, but
yeah.
there's very sweet at the end.
Mm-hmm.
There's very sherbety at the end.
Yeah. Like I said, the only thing I would have liked just like I feel like if it had just a tad bit more smoothness to it.
So this just tastes like a beer, like a sour beer. It's cherries.
Sour ale aged on cherries.
Yeah, but I've never had like a cherry sour, so I'm not mad about it.
Oh.
I'm not mad about any of these beers.
No. You get the...
Yeah, have you tried this one too? This one's probably your typical sour. Actually, both of those are your typical sours.
Yeah, I think I've bought this one before, but like I said, like up until recently, I was just like, yeah, beer. I didn't store anything away. That's my beer. This is just my voice for how I think about things for the last few years. I'm just like, yeah, it's beer.
It's beer, man. Hey, Ma.
Oh, these are good. Oh. When you have this one right after the cherry one.
Oh, yeah? Yeah? Raspberry cherry?
You get real raspberry. This tastes like summer.
Yeah.
Like it's like I just came out of the pool and I'm going up and I'm having like a bomb pop or something.
Yeah. It's a beer, but it's for also your hard seltzer fellas.
Yeah.
No, these are all really good. I cannot actually recommend these enough.
Definitely. Sometimes try a tasting where you go from one to the other. Because, like, man, I wouldn't have picked up on how raspberry this was if I didn't just have, like, a real...
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm going to go back and...
No, you're good. You're good. This is what we're here for. So, sour mix pack, Prairie Artisan Ales. Highly recommend.
Yeah, and I would say, and maybe it's because this one's been open a little bit. Was this one...
That was my first.
Did it have a little more fizz at the beginning?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's a little on the flatter side now, but, like, I feel like I taste it a lot more.
Yeah.
Because the cherry here, I taste the cherry, but something about the carbonation kind of masks it a little bit.
Yeah. They're all four of these are very good beers. I haven't had your Boulevard Nutmeg.
You're welcome to. Let me, now that my palate's opened up,
Okay.
let me see what we got here. It's real nutty.
And again, this is
it's like
Neff
it really
Brewing
coats
Company.
like the back of your tongue.
Yeah.
And my kind of like half bullshit explanation to the young clerk at Jacob's Liquor was I was like, it's like it's thinking about it's trying to be a stout, but it doesn't quite get there. But like it's not like it underachieves.
Sometimes
it sits in the middle.
Sometimes you get those seasoned ones where they like this one benefits from the cranberry, and that takes it. I feel like if you take the cranberry out, it's going to be the same thing. Where it's like, I feel like this wants to be a stout.
Yeah.
Because it has those very kind of earthy things that would do good in like a stout.
Yeah, but that one you get the nut.
Oh yeah. That's not bad though. It's definitely good. It's probably like it's a good mixture between these because these all four are really sours.
Yeah, those are all around that sour spectrum. And it's like I like the idea of stouts, but most of the time when I have one, I get so full like after one, and it's just a lot. This doesn't have quite the same weight to it. It's like I could have two of these comfortably, whereas like some stouts or like the really dark beers, it's like you have one and you just feel like you just had like a whole loaf of bread, and you're like,
I mean, basically,
this is nice.
Yeah, go us our first beer one.
Yeah, this.
Make
is
sure
fun.
that you go check them out. If they have a Facebook, I don't know. Let's go see.
If we do,
let's go deep dive.
You'll have a little hyperlink in there. We'll link the places. We'll do a thing.
Yeah, we'll.
This has been a really fun format. This would be a cool thing to just do.
Yeah, we're hoping.
Look, we got things to talk about, but we don't have to like write a whole script.
Yeah, it's actually. Oh yeah, Neff Brewing. There they are. And then is it Prairie Artisan Ales? We'll have to make sure and they're like I said, these are Oklahoma. That's Kansas City from Boulevard. Prairie Artisan Ales.
We should sometimes get a Jesse and Josh from the Trench Bros podcast, because I know they do like beer. Put them on as guests sometime.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
I just saw Jesse at Stan's wedding last weekend.
Oh man, I missed that and I feel really bad. I didn't feel good, but like I missed it.
Yeah.
No,
that's okay. It's kind of like how our wedding was.
Yeah.
There's quite a few people, that we invited. We knew that there were going to be some that weren't, and then there were some that like RSVP that were like, yeah, we'll be there. And I don't know. I think we probably got like a 60% turnout of the people that we RSVP'd, not the people we all invited. On a weekday,
yeah, I kind of get it. I mean, at the same time, you're like, it's a wedding, but at the same time, people have lives,
right? Yeah. So we had the Thursday, and then still just with how things are with COVID. Yeah, I totally understand people that like they get to like a day or two before, and they're like, I don't know, because like here lately, it's like. Things overall are better, but you still have those like every once in a while where you get like get close to it and you're like, it still seems kind of scary. Like, it's like, I'm all vaccinated and I'm all good. I want to try to get the booster here sometime soon, but it's like it's like I would just rather not get it and go through it. Yeah. Somebody, I hate being sick. Like the the couple times I've just been even like lightly sick this year, like just sucked more because I'm not used to being sick.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, like, yeah, that weekend, I wasn't even that sick. I think I was really stuffed up. I had like a headache a lot and kind of not really a sore throat. A little bit. I was coughing and sneezing, and so I was like, well, I'm not really feeling good. But for the most part, I just haven't been sick in the last 2 years. So that was like the closest I've really been to being sick. So I was like, well, I guess this is it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right. Yeah. Like you don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't know anymore.
Yeah. When we had gone to a wedding of one of Jenna's friends, back in May, and on the way back I got sick, and it was just a really nasty sinus infection, but like God, it wore me down for like a whole week, like, and it was just like just felt like there was just stuff all in my head and I just couldn't get it out, and it sucked because it's like I was sick, but not like I wasn't running a fever. I wasn't like contagious or anything, like I didn't have anything going on. So, you just gotta plot through your day, but it was like, after not being like sick for a while, I was like, God, it just knocked me out for like a week.
Yeah, well,
yeah,
we're getting through though, I guess.
Yeah.
Kinda, begrudgingly. Well, anyway, we're going to go ahead and sign off on that note.
Yeah.
We hope to do this again. This was actually our first time doing this kind of review. I was kind of hoping maybe doing like gift boxes, like, they do those like boxes, like tons of things in them. Like I think Walmart has them. They have like they're like collectible things. Like I got one that was like Godzilla and had an alien from Aliens and stuff.
I know NECA has done some of those. Like,
I think they're NECA
things.
Well, they've got that. This was like a Godzilla
mystery
box, and it had a stuffed Godzilla. It had a Predator. It was a sci-fi box. So it had Godzilla. It had a Predator bottle opener, and then it had an alien, and like the face sucker thing was peeing on a. He was like on his phone, and the face. He was walking it like it was his dog. So I don't know. Some people do those things. If you guys want us to try anything else, like food, beer,
Godzilla gift boxes.
Yeah, gift boxes. Send us gift. If you're a private business, send us stuff. Send us free stuff. And we will
not
get
not
you.
really. Like
Don't send us free stuff. We'll buy it.
But if you have suggestions of things you want us to look at or think about, or talk about, thinking about.
Yeah,
doing,
the 5 followers that you would get from us actually looking at it is not worth sending it for free. So we want to do more reacts like this. Again, send us your stuff. Send us your stuff. Send us the stuff that you like. It's all of your actual property. Send it to us.
We would like your goods and wares and things of intrinsic value.
We will trade for your stuff with our podcast.
You can host the Tubi podcast.
You can't even host. You will get this on YouTube.
Your free sample.
And we will send you the link personally if you send us your stuff. Hell of a deal, if you ask me. But anyway,
this has been 2 beans, a pizza, a beer, and a coffee table.
Reactionary talking.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh. Run her pee-pee.
We are the PP men.
Hey guys, it's pee-pee time.
PP time.
Have you ever had a pee-pee shoot you in the eye? Have you ever had a deed shoot you in the pee?
Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
I don't like that Franklin Delano Roosevelt. He shot my grandpa with his pee-pee.
Thankfully, after he had my dad, otherwise I'd
Thankfully,
be dead.
he was in a wheelchair after that.
Oh, sorry.
Then his son John F. Kennedy came.
Came in my dad.
Came in my...
Man, like the first 10 minutes of the last episode, which I still I'm in the process of going through. It's like just the most raunchiest stuff. And I was like, I don't think any of this is going to make it. Or it's going to be a super cut.